Glock decides to discontinue Gen 3, 4s, and 5s of numerous guns in their catalog. But why? Welcome to another installment of Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification of multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And you like channel, like content, and what I do, you can support me with the link. Everything's appreciated. Online store is open. CGB20 will get you 20% off. Free shipping. As always, Connecticut residents, you got to pay that sales tax. But CGB20 will get you 20% off. Let's talk about this. And this is breaking news. Now, it's been rumored, this was floating around since September. But as of today, Glock has announced it will discontinue Gen 3, 4s, and 5s of numerous models that are in their catalog. And apparently they're pushing for more MOS-friendly guns and what they call the V-Comp, which is not a big deal. But why are they doing it? Now, Glock came out with a statement stating, and I'll bring it up, in order to focus on the products that will drive further innovation and growth, we are making a strategic decision to reduce our current commercial portfolio. This streamlined approach allows us to concentrate on continuing to deliver the highest quality and most relevant solutions for the market. And that sounds like a very well scripted answer. But what's the reality? Well, I find the timing interesting considering California's signed into law a ban on all Glocks. And you also have lawsuits that were filed in December by New Jersey and Minnesota against Glock for the Glock switch. They're not suing the people who are using the Glock switch, they're suing Glock. Illinois tried to sue them over the Glock switch, which ended up being dropped. And you also had a politician who said that all Glocks should be registered as machine guns because they're easily convertible. I think all that pressure put them in this position to then curtail and downsize their entire portfolio. Now, they're talking about bringing back a lot of compensated models, and then they have what they call the V-Comp, which is supposedly going to prevent people from using Glock switches on them. But we'll see how that plays out. But at its core, I'm more inclined to say that it's pressure, regulatory pressure, and also pressure from the states that are going after them that caused them to take this move. Now, what models are affected? It's quite a list. But Glock 17 Gen 4, Glock 17 MOS Gen 4 and 5, 17L Classic Gen 3, Glock 19 Gen 4, Glock 19 MOS Gen 4, Glock 20 Gen 3 and 4, Glock 21 Gen 3 and 4, Glock 21 SF, Glock 22 Gen 3, 4s and 5s, Glock 22 MOS Gen 5, Glock 23 Gen 4, Glock 24. Glock 26 Gen 4, Glock 27 3, 4s and 5s, Glock 29 3, 4s and 5s, Glock 30 3, 4s and 5s, Glock 31 Gen 3s and 4s, Glock 32 Gen 3s and 4s, Glock 33 Gen 3s and 4s, Glock 34 Gen 3 and 4, Glock 34 MOS Gen 4 Gen 5, Glock 35 Gen 3 Gen 4, Glock 36, Glock 37 Gen 3s and 4s, Glock 38s and 39s, Glock 40 MOS Gen 4, Glock 41 Gen 4, and Gen 4 MOS and Glock 49. Quite the list. So if you have one of these, I suggest you hold on to it because it's going to become a collector's item, a historic piece at some point. But once again, them making this move is not going to shield them because there are so many of these guns already in use and so many criminals who have no problem taking these guns and converting them. So they're always going to come under that scrutiny. But this is what they want to do. That's cool. Now, if you remember when California started balking about the convertibility of the Glock, they came out with Gen 5, which had a block that was supposed to prevent you from doing that. California never approved that gun, ever. So there it is again. And it's not going to be any hurry whatsoever to approve any gun in the state to be sold. So you're kind of fighting an uphill battle as far as that's concerned. As I said, the V-Comp is supposed to be the new thing. They're going to do a lot of MOS and compensated models. All these guns are going to be replaced with the V-Comp, as I said. And all the basic models, 17s, 19s, 23s, the MOS models, 19X, 21s, 26s, and the 44. Now, apparently the big changes in the V series, obviously other than the non-convertibility with the Glock switch, is going to be an internal slide and trigger improvements. And they're saying that current performance triggers for Glocks will not work in these guns. So these guys who make these performance triggers are now going to have to revamp and retool and make them for the new V series guns. We'll see how it plays out, but if they are doing this to protect themselves from regulatory and lawsuits, I don't think this move's going to do anything for them. As I said, this is the commercial line. So I'm assuming that law enforcement is still going to be supplied with these models if they so call for them. I have no opinion one way or the other. I just think it's not the right move, but maybe they're just trying to prevent themselves from being in court for the next 10 years fighting over frivolous garbage because criminals want to use their product in a nefarious manner. But there's the news. If you want to get one of these models, I suggest you head out now because there's going to be a buying frenzy that's going to be off the charts. So let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace.